Hey pedal people, it's ThePedalGuy here. How you doing? Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick start video on the Digitech SDRUM. But before we get started, please take a second and click on that subscribe button down there and ring the bell so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow us so you can stay up to date with all of our activities. Okay, well, SDRUM, and it's called SDRUM by the way, not SDRUM. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek sort of joke, I suppose, but it means strummable drums. This is an intelligent drum machine that follows your strumming patterns on your guitar or your bass. And this enables you to create really fantastic sounding, realistic drum patterns that don't sound mechanical whatsoever. And there is so much variation to it. In fact, this pedal is so deep in features that we are going to take a couple of videos to go through all the features here so you can really get to know this pedal. Because once you do, I think you're going to really dig what you see here. So let's start by talking about the ins and outs. Guitar in, external foot switch in, USB port to update the firmware, stereo outputs to your mixer, single output to your amp. Now, to keep in mind here, if you use this output and you use the stereo outputs along with it, the drums will go to the stereo output and the guitar will go straight to the amp. If you're not using this output, everything will come out of the stereo pair. A jam sync output to work with the Jam Man and the other jam sync enabled products from Digitech. Okay, at this point, let's go ahead and hook everything up and let's start checking this guy out. Okay, now we've got it plugged in, and we'll plug in a guitar in a minute, but we're just going to work with just the interface here to get you used to it really quick, okay? So again, I'm going to go over this fast, so don't worry, we're going to dig into it even more in a future tutorial, and we'll get into the really deep functions of this pedal. But let's start with the bottom and the most obvious, which is the foot switch. This is used to turn on and off your rhythms. It can be used to undo and redo edits, like if you want to erase something, you can also bring it back. Right above it, we have a kick and snare, and there's a lexicon. There's a lexicon processor in here too, so you really get studio quality sounding loops, which sound just amazing. We have the guitar audition section here, and this is used to calibrate your guitar to the strum. We'll get into that in a minute. We have our level, pretty self-explanatory, right? And we have our tempo knob, and that's specifically what they do. Now, above that, we have the groove and kit knob, and we have the hats and ride knob. Now, the groove and kit knob is used to go through the various functions of the strum. For example, we can change the sound of the kit. We can also use it to go over here and change the time signature from 4/4 to 3/4. We can also go here and specify whether we want it to be in straight time or swing time. And then we can determine the complexity of the rhythm by using the final section up here at the top where we have simple, moderate, and busy. Now over here to the right we have the hats and ride encoder knob, and this is used to select different rhythm patterns that will be played by either the hi-hats, the rides, or the toms. Additionally, this button, this encoder also is used to select different songs. Now up here at the top we have a tempo LED, which also doubles up as a tap tempo. We have our verse, our chorus, and our bridge sections. So you can create a full song with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and just create a really quick rhythm here. So I'm going to hit the foot switch, and you can see the learn LED is blinking quickly, which means it's in record ready mode. So I'm just going to tap a quick pattern in with the kick and the snare. Then I'm going to hit the foot switch again, and SDRUM is going to automatically build a drum section for me. So here we go. Right? That's how easy it is. Isn't that easy? Isn't that cool? All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to slow it down here. Now let's say I wanted to change the sound. Use the encoder knob. Or there's also alternative kits. And now we can also determine the time signature. Do we want it in 4/4 or do we want it in 3/4? We're going to stick with 4/4. Let's keep going up here. So we can determine whether we want to be in straight time or swing time. And then we can also determine up here at the top, do we want it in, do we want the pattern to be simple, moderate, or busy? Okay, so now let's bring up some hats. So here's a straight pattern. Now if I use the encoder knob and I press, I get variations. Now another cool thing is we can change the dynamics of the pattern. So it's a little harder, really hard, and then back to soft. So that means that like the verse could be like really chill, right? And then you can move to the chorus and it can be like red. So you can be like really hard, and then bridge can be like medium. So that's the kind of stuff you can do. Now, if you want to stop the pattern, just press and hold the stop button. So at this point now, let's go ahead and plug in a guitar. Let's calibrate it, and then let's do a quick rhythm. All right, so we've got our guitar here, and now at this point, if I turn the guitar up, we are listening to it through the stereo outputs here, and we're going to plug in the amp in our final part of this video. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But in the meantime, let's calibrate this sucker. What you want to do is you want to press and hold the guitar audition button to calibrate, to go into calibration mode. Okay, now at this point, what's going on is the strum is now listening to your low string to calibrate it to the kick. And you can see that you've got the hats and ride knob here is lit up completely because you need to hit that low string 12 times to properly calibrate it to the kick. So the way we would do that is simply like this. Okay, now it's moving to the snare, so now we would use the high string. Okay, now that we are set up and calibrated, we're ready to go ahead and record in a rhythm. In order to do that, we can do it with either just listening to the guitar strum, or we can just turn on the audition button. Right? So at this point now, I just hit the foot switch. The learn LED is going to blink quickly, letting us know that it's in record ready mode. It's going to listen for the first kick and snare, and then it's going to build a pattern once I hit the foot switch again. So here it is. And that's literally how easy it is. I mean, isn't that simple? It's really, really cool. So if I go to, like, say, now I've got the verse, let's say I want to go to the chorus. Gives me a little beat. It gives me the tap tempo there, the metronome to go along with that. So if I hit the record button here, the learn button. There we go. Okay. And now if I want to switch back to the verse, back to the chorus, it plays a little fill and then it goes right in. Now if I want to do that with the foot switch, just tap it. Okay, so at this point now, let's go ahead and plug in the guitar into an amp, and let's show you what you can really do with this guy. This is just the beginning, folks. We're going to get into more things that you can do with Strum in future tutorials. So for more information on this pedal and the other pedals that we carry, please visit us at ThePedalGuy.com. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you ring that bell. All right, have a great day.